So that's one of the things. Now you can't, you can unscrew these to come right off, but you can't just take them off if you have pressure in your system. If you haven't drained this completely, don't unscrew that. It's going to blow up in your face because there's nothing to stop the pressure from just blowing straight out of the pipe. They do unscrew, but there's nothing behind it to stop it. So draining it, you know, of course I have to officially say that if you want to drain your system down, you know, do what I do. Take it to a shop that does AC work and say, look, suck all the Freon out of my system, or suck, I mean, the R134A out of my system. You know, you're not supposed to just unscrew this and let it blast out into the air. You know, it's environmentally hazardous, makes the tree huggers get pissed off, you know, whatever. I ain't gonna do that. So what I did, I took my truck down there. I said, look, just suck the juice out of it, and you know, I'll fix it myself afterwards. So that's what I did. I had them suck the juice out of it. Came home, opened up the lines. You know, everything was drained already for me. So I mean, you know, it's up to you what you want to do, but I recommend, you know, if at least having somebody take that stuff out. There's, you know, roughly 3 pounds of refrigerant in these trucks. I mean, it's not like a car was just a tiny little bit. You know, there's a lot in these things, so it's the best thing to do. Anyways, the email he sent, he also asked me how is the compressor clutch controlled? Compressor clutch. Okay. This clutch on the compressor is how you tell if the AC is actually coming on or off. You know, you jump in your truck, you crank it up, you set your AC on maximum, turn your blower on, run out here with the hood open, and see if this thing, you know, kicks in and starts turning. You know, if you got AC problems, the first thing you're going to look for is see if this clutch here in the face kicks in and it starts turning. You know, this is obviously spinning all the time, but that won't unless it kicks on. Well, how's that controlled? Well, like I said, initially it checks to see when you first kick it on if there's pressure coming from the sensor to see if there's enough pressure to run it. If it don't kick on at all, there's only a couple of reasons why. A, it sees that it don't have enough pressure, which means either your pressure sensor's bad or you really don't have enough pressure, or B, one of these sensors is either completely shorted out, you know, like 30 ohms or, you know, some ridiculously low value, or open, you're not going to read anything on it, or actually one of the plugs is unplugged, or the pins inside are all corroded up, the wires are corroded up. So it's not too hard to figure out why it won't come on at all, you know. The expansion valve bad, the dryer bad, the evaporator bad, the condenser, I mean, the condenser, all it can do is leak. The evaporator, all it can do is leak. The dryer, all it can do is leak. The expansion valve, if it's not working right, you know, it may give a fault later, but it's not going to keep it from coming on initially. Okay, so that's something to know. Now, if there's a humidity sensor, I think up here somewhere, I've got mine unplugged, so obviously that's not causing my AC not to work ever. You know, I've had it unplugged forever. I don't know why. I just unplugged it. Didn't feel like plugging it back in one day. Alright, so that's how the clutch kicks on, the pressure builds, the controller sees the pressure go up on the pressure sensor, and when it gets to about, for this truck, and most trucks that I understand, I got a friend with a Peterbilt says he gets the same readings. I guess most of these trucks are close to the same. When it gets to about 300 psi on the pressure, on the pressure, which I have a pressure gauge set that I use to check it with just to verify things. When it gets to about 250, 300, it'll cause the controller will say, "Hey, it's getting too high," and it'll make your engine fan for your engine come on. You know, your engine fan will kick in, your clutch will kick on, and it'll you know, try to cool off the AC system. And if it does, you know, everything's working good, you know, you'll see it go from 300 back down to 200, you know, 180, whatever, and then the clutch fan will kick off on the motor. Now, if it gets much above 300, it goes to 325, 350, whatever, you know, every truck's a little different. The compressor actually kick off again. You know, that clutch will kick back out, and it'll say, okay, that's too much pressure, and it kicks the clutch out. If it goes above a certain level, on some trucks it'll fault the system and it won't recover. You know, obviously if it's a Prostar, it won't recover, it'll just shut down until you reset the whole damn thing. So you have to kind of know that. Now, if everything's working properly, the clutch should not be kicking out from overpressure, because the fan on the engine should be sucking the temperature down, which is going to reduce the pressure in the lines. You know, pressure equals temperature equals pressure. This R134A, that's how it works. Now, the clutch also kicks in and out based on these things. You know, this one's on the cold side up here, and this one's on the hot side. If it sees that it's too hot, it can kick it out. But I haven't seen it do that. I don't know what programming is. I haven't seen the programming, but I haven't really seen it kick out because of the hot temperature one. But the cold one, it'll kick out quite often for that, because it's going to try to keep this evaporator from freezing up. So if it sees the evaporator, you know, sees the temperature on this line here getting, you know, 30 degrees, you know, 32, 34, probably 38, whatever it's set to in the program, it's going to kick the clutch out. And that's normal. You know, you'll see the clutch cycle. You'll see it kick on maybe 30 seconds to kick off, or you might see it kick on and stay on 2 minutes and kick off, or, you know, it's just random. You can't predict it, but unless you're watching the program with the software or something. But that's how the AC compressor clutch works, or what controls it.